Top Republican Liz Cheney has just dropped a bombshell about her party's future after Trump. And this is not looking good for Trump or the Republicans and could mean the end of the Republican Party as a whole. So we'll get into that bombshell here in a second, but first, I want to show you why Liz Cheney's bombshell is so warranted in the modern political landscape. So Chris Christie was on ABC and was commenting on how the Republican Party will continue to lose as long as Trump is the head of the party. Take a look at this clip.
This was predictable. Mark Robinson's tenure in public life has shown erratic, sometimes highly offensive statements over and over again. And Donald Trump supported him and endorsed him. In fact, called him better than Martin Luther King Jr. on steroids.
That's right.
Right? So this was predictable. And this is the problem for us Republicans. As long as Donald Trump is your recruiting agent for candidates in swing states, we're going to continue to get our rear ends handed to us. And Mark Robinson is not going to win this race, can't win this race.
He's about 10, 12 points behind.
Right. And he's running against, by the way, a very formidable candidate in the Attorney General, Josh Stein.
Right.
So the fact is this was going to be a tough race no matter what. And the problem for them now, George, is how much will it affect the top of the ticket?
And I want to ask Donna about...
If even Chris Christie is saying that Trump is a danger to their party, you know it must be super bad. So when you have the Republican Party split in half and Trump as the face repulsing away moderate voters, it's clear that the Republican Party is collapsing as we speak. And Liz Cheney has noticed this, which is why she has made this major bombshell announcement about her party's future after Trump. Just take a look at this clip.
Hard for me to see how the Republican Party survives because it's been so corrupted. But you know, we need two strong parties in this country, and so we'll have to figure out how we move forward.
Can the party purge itself of Trump? Is that something that can happen?
You know, I think the way that I think about it, and this is based upon spending a lot of my time traveling around the country and talking to people, Republicans and Democrats and independents, that we need our political system to reflect the goodness of the American people. And that, you know, I think the majority, I don't have any question that the majority of Americans don't want somebody like Donald Trump to be the president. The majority of Americans really would like to have a president that their kids can look up to. They really would like a president they know is going to defend the peaceful transfer of power. And I think that's where we have to start. You know, whether it's organizing a new party, look, it's hard for me to see how the Republican Party, given what it has done, can make the argument convincingly or credibly that people ought to be voting for Republican candidates until it really recognizes what it's done. And so I think, you know, making sure that on an individual basis we're casting votes for serious, responsible people, that we're encouraging people to get involved and run. There is certainly going to be a big shift, I think, in how our politics work. I don't know exactly what that will look like. I don't think it will just simply be, well, the Republican Party is going to put up a new, you know, slate of candidates and
Right.
off to the races. I think far too much has happened that's too damaging.
Well, so the Republican Party was actually born out of the ashes of a failed party. Are you thinking then there has to be a new party here, that what you're just suggesting just now, right?
I mean, it may well be because, again, you know, so much of the Republican Party today has allowed itself to become a tool for this really unstable man. And so it certainly has moved away from standing for anything of substance, anything of policy. And I think, you know, we're going to have some entity that actually, you know, can be making the case for the kinds of conservative causes that I believe in terms of a strong national defense.
Yeah, Liz Cheney has announced that she might have to start a new political party after Trump. And I don't think it's completely out of the realm of possibility, so I think there's a good chance that she's actually going to decide to go through with this plan. and I think her reasoning for wanting to makes a lot of sense. The Republican Party is infected with the MAGA virus, and I don't think that will ever go away. So the only way to potentially win future elections is to completely make a new party that will not repulse moderate voters. But the interesting thing about this decision is that it will mostly be helping the Democrats, because there is no way for them to win future elections if they officially divide into two parties at this point. There are too many MAGA Republicans to win without them, so there will never be enough votes for one party because the votes will be too divided. So unless the party system was completely revamped, I think the Republicans will never win another election if they split into two official parties. But they might not have a choice but to separate into two parties, because MAGA is a permanent stain on the Republican Party as a whole. So I think, they don't have a chance. They're either going to not win elections as the Republican Party or not win elections as the Conservative Party. But at least as the Conservative Party, they have somewhat of a chance because more moderate voters will actually be voting for them. But either way, I know I'll be rooting for Liz Cheney as she tries to form a new Conservative Party, as that will ultimately end up helping the Democrats the most.